Hi, and welcome to Roads Less Travelled New Zealand Special. Now, Teags, we started our journey on the North Island.
We did, and we've made our way down to the South Island.
How good is this? I love this.
It is so beautiful. I love a beach.
What's in store for us?
We have got so much in store. There is so much natural beauty down here, and also I've heard there's really good gin.
It's a pretty good cue for me. I'm into it. Sounds good.
Let's go.
Can't wait.
First up, the boutique city of Dunedin on the stunning Otago Peninsula, where you can experience everything from luxury castles to baby blue penguins. And then we head to the historical town of Lawrence, hoping to strike it rich on the Clutha Gold Trail. And we complete our trip at one of New Zealand's hidden gems, the Catlins, boasting rugged beauty and extraordinary wildlife.
Well, Teags, I have to say, this thing goes pretty well. It's super comfy to drive.
And speaking of comfy, I actually have been sleeping in the bed up the back.
No.
And it is spectacular.
Yeah?
I had the best night's sleep. Oh, it's heaven.
You're feeling pretty chirpy this morning?
Yep. Ready to go.
Let's do it.
There is nothing quite like high tea, and nowhere quite as spectacular for high tea than the Otago Peninsula at one of Dunedin's must-see attractions, Larnach Castle.
Good afternoon, Tegan. Welcome to Larnach Castle.
Thank you, Deborah. So, Deborah, we're having the high tea, and it looks absolutely incredible. I can't wait to dig in, but I want to learn more about the history. It has such a rich history.
There is a lot of it.
There's a lot to cover.
I think it's really interesting to know that Larnach Castle was built by an Australian,
Yeah.
William Larnach. They say that he built the castle for the great love of his life, his first wife, Eliza.
So these are the stables?
Yes, actually the stables were built before the castle was. Of course, it needed to happen because, of course, the only way of getting up here was on horseback.
Yes.
You had to look after your transport.
Yeah, so they built this first.
So they built this first. You can stay up here. We have 3 styles of accommodation, the stables and the lodge. We have a 5-star property.
This is a pretty spectacular room.
This is the ladies' room.
Oh,
the ladies'
that's why
drawing
I like
room.
it.
The beautiful wedding cake ceiling. This is where the ladies would come after dinner and drink tea and do their embroidery.
I could sip tea in here quite happily.
Well, the men were next door over in the library. You know, they were drinking whiskey and smoking cigars.
Of course. That's where we'll find Shane.
People bring their children here and the children get lost in the garden and look for all the Alice in Wonderland features.
Yes, yeah, I love that. Let's have a little rest, enjoy some high tea, and thank you for showing us around. Thank you. Just a 30-minute drive from Dunedin is the only distillery on the Otago Peninsula, Sandymount Distillery, and it is proving to be quite the hit with the locals and tourists. Richard, being a distiller wasn't always on the cards, was it? How did you get into it?
Yeah, right. So I was a hobby distiller for years,
Yeah.
Probably about 5 years before I became commercial. The hobby got a bit out of control. Yeah, it kind of snowballed on me. So I spent years making some pretty average stuff in a small still in the back of the garage, and then decided one day I wanted to sell a bottle. Before I knew it, I'd sold 1,000 bottles, and then
Wow.
another 1,000, and then I thought, oh, there's something in this.
All right, Richard, what do we have here?
So this is a collection of botanicals that I use in different products. The back row here is entirely what's in the Lover's Leap, but in front of it I've got some of the native botanicals which are used in the Tikoko Forest gin.
And are these found on your property?
They are, yeah, absolutely.
So cool.
This one here is Kawakawa, and that's the furthest away one from the distillery, and it's about 30 metres that way. Pretty close, pretty handy, and that's a big reason as to why we use them as well, because it's what we grow here on the property.
so this is one of the plants?
That's right, this one here is Manuka. So this is one of the 6 that we use in the Te Coca Forest gin. You may have heard of Manuka used in honey before. Manuka honey is what this is particularly famous for. But in the gin, it gives slightly herbaceous and woody flavour as well, so its own unique part.
We're going to give this one a little try?
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers.
Something that you have to do if you're on the Otago Peninsula is visit the world's smallest penguin. I'm on my way to see the little blue penguin, and I'm so excited. So Lyndon, tell us about these little blue penguins.
Here at Pukekura, we have the largest population of blue penguins on the Otago Peninsula. There's about 250 pairs just within this reserve. Blue penguins, also known as korora, are the smallest of all of the world's species of penguins. They're about stand at the height of about sort of 25 centimetres tall, and their nest sites are throughout this reserve. So down here during the day, you don't see any because they're underground. They're a burrowing seabird species. Blue penguins are only in good numbers in places like this now, where there's lots of protection work going in to make sure that our population survives.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you, Lyndon. Can't wait to see the tiniest penguin.
Well, let's hope we get a good number of birds coming in this evening.
Oh my gosh, look at how cute they are. The smallest penguin in the world. Wow.
Something that I love doing when I'm in a new city is exploring and just getting lost. And what makes Dunedin so vibrant is all of the incredible artwork. So let's go and explore.
When it comes to great food, you can't go past award-winning Tītī restaurant. And I'm joined by executive chef and owner Hans Barrider to experience his creative approach to dining.
And can you tell me about Tītī's?
When I met my partner, we used to work in Munich together, and I was already back and forth in New Zealand before, and I always had the dream to move here. So I finally convinced her kind of to come with me, and with the idea of someday having our own restaurant. This popped up, and the lease popped up for this, so we went right away. We're trying to have low wastage, working with a lot of small people, small farmers. So we kind of go with what we get. So our menu can change during the week. Just trying to minimize any food waste and respect the product and respect all the energy the farmers put into everything. And once you start going fishing yourself, once you start hunting, gardening, everything, I think that changes the way you look at things. Once you see how much effort actually goes into it. What we're trying to do is with our menu is really stick to New Zealand and stay away from importing and what can you do with the quins.
Yes.
So.
Well, I think we need to try some of this food because it smells incredible. So, let's dig in.
That was a fabulously delicious lunch with an amazing view of the captivating St Clair Beach. Now I am off to meet Julian at number 8 Distillery. I'm told that Julian is the genius and guru behind the unique spirits. Julian, tell me about number 8 Distillery.
So I started number 8 3 years ago. Since the beginning, we looking to forage and use plant or weeds or what we can find around Dunedin.
And so we're going to go foraging, aren't we? See if we can find some things.
We can try to sip something on top of the hill too. So
Amazing, sounds great.
let's go to forage.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of a walk.
Just 20 minutes on that direction. So a lot of go on a native bush.
Amazing.
And can see all the plants and herbs around too.
All right.
Sweet. Welcome in my secret location.
Okay, so down here.
Yeah, let's go. That one's the olopito. Here's a peppery tree. When you're using an alcohol, so the interaction with the alcohol will release the pepper on a distillation process, but you have a lot of aroma that you can smell.
Yeah.
Here's a talata, it's a lemon wood. So when you crush on your finger, there's a lemon ball coming out. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
Yeah.
Should we try some gin?
Yes, let's go.
Cheers.
Santé.
Well, I have to say that foraging for ingredients is hard work, but your taste buds will thank you for the effort. This is Baldwin Street, officially the steepest street in the world, and I have to admit that the legs felt a little wobbly when I got to the top. Back in the day, kids used to roll jaffas down the street, so I thought I'd give it a go.
Shane didn't make the journey up here, but I have 2 jaffas. One is his, one is mine. We're going to have a race down.
This is actually quite comfortable back here in the Star RV. I wonder how Teague's is going.
Looks like I won. Where's Shane? He must be sleeping.
Ready for an adventure? Score up to 10% cashback when you book this South Island 7-day tour at Travello.com.